Leading difference. That's probably going to be one of the biggest challenges you as a leader will ever face. And in leading difference, we've spoken a great deal about the imperative that it is in the new world of work. One of the things we reminded you or spoke about was that we need to learn how to move from being different from each other to being different for each other. Different from each other, moving to different for each other. And that's a difficult pathway to undertake, but that is exactly the challenge that leaders and managers will face into the future of harnessing difference in their work teams. We also spoke about difference not just being cultural difference, it could be generational difference, which is a very, very important factor in the workplace today. Andy Molinsky wrote a book worth reading called Global Dexterity, and in it he talks about a cultural scale that we can apply to difference in order to help us understand when working with difference how exactly to come across. The scale is fairly simple. He looks at your level of directness. So in this context in which I'm now working that might be different from the one I'm usually accustomed to, how direct should I be? Do I need to be indirect as you would have to be if you were working in Japan, for example, or should I be even more direct, which would be the case if you were in Germany or the United States? The second point on the scale is assertiveness. In this particular context, working and having this discussion, how assertive do I need to be around my opinions? Again, using the Japanese context as an example, you would be very indirect in your assertiveness. You would hint at something and allow the person you're speaking to, who might be Japanese, to connect the dots. The third point on the scale, after directiveness, assertiveness, is how formal do I need to be? So do I need to use titles in this particular context? Can I engage in some small chat before getting directly to the business item? The next point on the scale is how much personal promotion is warranted. Do I have to sell myself? Some cultures are very reluctant to promote their own skill set. They would rather just assume that that is picked up on by the interviewer or by the person they're having the conversation with. The other point is personal disclosure. How much personal information do I need to give in this particular context? And Molinsky suggests that that test, if you like, that cultural test, is a practical way to help us when we are in a context of difference to ask those questions and go through and adjust and adapt our behavior. Of course, when we were talking about leading difference, we spoke a great deal about the need for adaptability as leaders. As a leader, you need to make sure that you work on your adaptive intelligence, and that would be one practical way by asking how direct should I be, how assertive do I need to be, how formal do I need to be, how much personal disclosure needs to take place, and how much self-promotion needs to take place. The one other point in Molinsky's scale is around enthusiasm. In some cultures, you need to be expressive and enthusiastic, and in other cultures, by doing that, you actually hurt what it is you're trying to communicate. The test is not really to say, well, they need to adjust to me. Smart leaders today understand that they're the ones that need cultural adaptability and personal adaptability. So here's something maybe you and your team can think about. Find 3 people that you would regard as being very different from yourself. That might be an age difference, a cultural difference, it could be a gender difference. 3 people that you would regard as on the extremities of diversity. Think about 2 or 3 questions that you as a team can then go and ask those people that you've listed, and then go and meet with them. Have a cup of coffee with them and ask them those 2 or 3 questions. Then get back as a team and pool your findings. That would be a practical way to start to engage with difference and start to leverage the knowledge of adaptive intelligence within your team and within your workplace.